one day we were driving back and forth from Tulsa to Oklahoma City, and my husband had this crazy idea of starting a CrossFit box in a garage and offering it to people that could not afford it. Because at the time he was getting CrossFit, a local box was giving it to him for nothing because we couldn't afford it, and he wouldn't be able to do it if it wasn't for them. And it just kind of, he drank the Kool-Aid.
My name is Brent Pendergrass, and this is CrossFit Green Country.
Met Brent about 3 or 4 years ago at a men's group, and we were chatting over a 4th of July celebration. He had this idea about, he goes, hey, I'm CrossFit certified and I love training. And I mentioned how I love to work out, I love training, and I think CrossFit's pretty great, but I said the problem is it's just so gosh darn expensive. I mean, most gyms are 100, 200 plus. And he goes, well, why don't we just get together and see how things work out? And I thought, that sounds like a great idea to me.
Where we came from, we started out as a dingy, dirty garage. If you look at it back then, it looked like a dungeon with some shelves, very dark.
Before we knew it, we had started turning his garage into a gym. We'd started inviting anyone we knew, and inviting them to workouts and to WODs.
Basically cleaned everything out, ripped the shelves off of the walls, and basically had a pull-up bar made out of plumber's pipe and a rack for squats out of a washer and dryer. So we had the rack, everything from a washer and dryer, and unfortunately we had a couple athletes that were 6'5", 6'6", that had to do a squat every time to reload it or load it, and it was miserable. So we had a company come in and literally say, hey, I'm on board with you guys. And they gave us a whole entire rig, $1,000 rig, and box jumps and wall balls.
I've gone to gyms before. I'd sign up and go for a couple weeks, but then, as soon as I would, I'd be intimidated, and I'd be nervous and not know what I was doing, and just wander around and be bored, or I'd try something, get sore, and then not go back. And I came here, and Brent worked with me, and got me started out lifting light and teaching me form, and then I'm still here 18 months later, and this year I ran my first 5K, which, running to the mailbox was more than I wanted to run before.
One of the things that is unique to our box is that we don't pay the normal CrossFit fees. We kind of just pay what we can afford, but in that we do different community service projects to kind of pay it forward. We've done things from cleaning up yards to raking leaves. We've done meals for people who need them.
When I come here, I feel like I'm at home. It's not just you come work out and you leave, come work out, you leave. It's more of a really tight-knit community.
I've seen people be transformed by their time here.
4 years ago, February, I had an accident where I fell 15 feet from a roof, and I shattered both of my feet and my ankle. And since that time, I've gone through 3 surgeries and spent 4 months in a wheelchair, not expecting to really be able to walk the same again, and being told by doctors that I would never be able to run or do the exercises that I'm doing. And this past spring, a year ago, I was looking for a gym to join and was just walking through the neighborhood and trying to just test my limits and figure out some things that I could do when I was invited to come over to this CrossFit box. And when I talked with the owner of the CrossFit box, my only thought was, I can't do those things. I've been told I can't do those things. I won't be able to do those things. And I just need to start slow. And so I was invited just to come over and just try it. And it's been 9 months. And I am pushing myself further than I ever dreamed.
For me, what made me jump in CrossFit was we were pregnant with our 3rd child, and we were almost 12 weeks along, and we knew it was a boy. Like, as a mom, you just get that feeling, and we had a name picked out for him and everything, and we lost him. And that was the most heart-wrenching thing, you know, a woman can go through. And it's one of the #1 like overlooked deaths, I think. And we had a lot of people that just pushed it under the rug and just said, you know, it's nothing, except for CrossFit. My husband sat there one day, and how he grieved was he decided to make a WOD in his name. We weren't even affiliated yet. We just had the idea of getting this started, and he made a WOD in his name and put it out there, and the whole community just grabbed it. I mean, to get these pictures of people with my child's name on that I didn't even get to meet just meant so much to me, because we had a lot of people that weren't there for us. And seeing just the community, and I wanted it then. And it took me a couple weeks, or actually a couple months, to jump on the CrossFit, drink the CrossFit Kool-Aid. But that just helped with the grieving process, and just seeing how many people out there really were loving on us. And I kept telling my husband, are they sure? Did they know it was just a miscarriage? And they knew it was, and they still loved us for it. I mean, they made a big deal out of it, where, you know, just the everyday person that we'd run into just didn't. So for us, it was
a shocker, because, you know, we counted up at the end that we had 28 different states with a bunch of boxes in them, and 6 different countries, and people were sending pictures from, you know, 15, 20 people working out and holding up signs that said, "We love you, Alexander James." And it was really moving to see a community that did not know us wrap their arms around us, you know. And then the people come out of the woodworks and start saying, you know, I had the same issue happen, and I was by myself, and no one was there, and thank you for doing this for me. And it's sort of funny, even in our own town here in Tulsa and Broken Arrow, we walk into people and they're like, "Oh my gosh, you're the people we did the workout for your kid. That was so amazing." And, you know, it just sort of makes us stop and think, like, this is our community, you know, they're amazing people. My goal eventually for this box is to eventually be in their own facility, so we can reach more people. You know, take in kids that are struggling and give them workouts and really show them the same kind of love that our athletes have felt. You know, taking wounded vets is a big one for us, and giving them jobs inside the box, and going to the VA hospital and loving on them during Christmas. And you know, having organizations coming to us saying, "Hey, we need funds, can you help us?" And us having that to say, "It's yours. Just take the money and, you know, use it for a blessing." That's where I want Green Country to be. Where we start, instead of coming from a point of us needing help, to us helping everyone that we can.
It's more than just coming to work out and making ourselves better physically. It's making ourselves better emotionally and spiritually. It's touching people in the community and just doing a greater good for everybody.
It's just been incredible seeing this explode from nothing but an idea over a couple of burgers, and a barbecue.